first chance of the game. It's special. What a goal. Everybody talked about victory after rest. The corner. And Arsenal have an early goal. And it's the
A really dangerous circle Arteta on Arsenal injuries. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal are caught in a really dangerous circle with injuries, but denied they are a result of overtraining. Arsenal have suffered injuries to a number of key players throughout the season and will be without midfielder Declan Rice, defender William Saliba and forward Leandro Trossard for the match against Club Brugge in the league phase of the Champions League on Wednesday. Trossard, who scored in the loss to Aston Villa at the weekend, only just returned from injury but was brought off before the end of the game, despite only being introduced as a second-half substitute. Arsenal are still without forward Kai Havertz and defenders Gabriel Magalhaes and Christian Mosquera, while striker Victor Gyökeres is just returning from injury. The Gunners have also made a change to their Champions League squad because of injury, with Gabriel Jesus, who has been out since January after cruciate ligament surgery, replacing 15-year-old Max Daumann, who picked up his injury playing for Arsenal under-21s in a friendly against Manchester United on Saturday. But when asked if overtraining was the cause of the problems, Arteta rejected the idea. "No, because we don't train," Arteta said, referring to the short turnaround between games at this point in the season, before saying his side trained for 20 minutes on Tuesday. "We don't have time to train, so training is not there, but obviously the fact that you are missing players, you are loading other players more as a consequence. It is a really dangerous circle, that one." Arsenal also had to deal with long-term injuries to Havertz and Bukayo Saka last season, while centre-back Gabriel missed an important couple of months at the end of the last campaign. And Arteta said that alongside the Arsenal medical team, he was always looking at the reasons for the injuries they suffer. Some of the players have played over 150 games into seasons, so it starts to get overloaded. You start to ask them again and again and again to do that, and at some point they will break down, he said. "It is something that we are constantly looking at. We have played a lot of games with a lot of players missing that puts a lot of stress, and then more injuries, but we are on it. I am really happy what we are doing in terms of the medical stuff and everything that we are trying to bring together. But sometimes as well, we need some things to go on our side." The football calendar has been a much debated topic in recent months. Arsenal and Crystal Palace have had matches moved by the Premier League later this month to ease fixture congestion. Arsenal's trip to Everton and Palace's game, Leeds, both originally scheduled for 14 o'clock GMT on Sunday, the 21st of December, will now be played at 20 o'clock a day earlier. The games were shifted as the two sides play each other in the FA Cup quarter-final on the 23rd of December. Arsenal have already played 22 games across all competitions as they compete in the Premier League, the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. They start their FA Cup campaign in January against Portsmouth. Last year, the top European leagues, including the Premier League, and Global Players Union filed a legal complaint against world governing body FIFA over what they called its abuse of dominance in the game. The European leagues, which represents 39 leagues and 1,130 clubs in 33 countries, said at the time that it was filing the complaint to the European Commission to protect the welfare of players. Last month, FIFA announced a series of measures it said would address player welfare, including having at least 72 hours of rest between matches and a rest period of at least 21 days at the end of each season. However, there was not involved in talks prior to the announcement. Accused FIFA for undermining plans to tackle player welfare issues by consulting with FIFA-friendly organisation for consultation processes rather than engaging with the recognised football representative bodies. Arsenal's Max Daumann set for 2 months out with ankle ligament injury. Arsenal midfielder Max Daumann is expected to be out for around 2 months after sustaining ankle ligament damage. Douman, 15, suffered the injury following a challenge by an opponent during a friendly against Manchester United on Saturday. He is not expected to require surgery. Arsenal confirmed on Tuesday that the England youth international had been taken out of their Champions League squad following an ankle injury, with Gabriel Jesus added in his place. Newly amended UEFA rules state that outfield players can be replaced in the European competition squads in the event of a long-term injury with an absence of at least 60 days. Asked about Douman during Tuesday's pre-match press conference before Arsenal's Champions League tie against Club Brugge, Mikel Arteta said, "With Max, unfortunately, he picked up an injury last weekend and he had to come off, so we did some scans and he's going to be out 4 weeks." After impressing in pre-season, Douman made his first team debut for Arsenal in the 5-0 victory over Leeds United in August, becoming the second youngest player to appear for the North London side, behind teammate Ethan Nwaneri. In November, he became the youngest player in Champions League history by coming on as a substitute in Arsenal's 3-0 victory over Slavia Prague, aged 15 years and 308 days. Douman has made 5 senior appearances across all competitions for Arsenal this season, providing 1 assist. It was confirmed in October the club had reached an agreement with the midfielder to sign scholarship terms, with a professional contract expected to follow when he turns 17. Arsenal have contended with a number of injury absentees during the 2005-2026 campaign, with Christian Mosquera, Kai Havertz, Gabriel, Leandro Trossard, and William Saliba currently sidelined.